Grand Rising, everyone. I hope you guys are well. I hope you're doing okay, and I hope everything is going as planned. This is Denzamos, and you're welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empaths free. If you are new on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality. I talk about personal and self-development. And if that's what resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us, give us a like, share this video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back, and I thank you for your love and support. Spiritual awakening is a very maybe painful, challenging experience. For the most of you guys who are going through the awakening, you can concur with me. Let me share with you guys a short story. So when I was back in school many years ago, I studied in a Christian school. It was actually a Catholic school, to be precise, a boarding school. And every Sunday we used to go to church. Now, in the first weeks of the terms and the semesters, of course, I would go and follow everybody going to church. That's what was told. Go to church and pray and do all these things. But I don't know, for some reason, I started getting a little bit uncomfortable with church. I didn't have any feeling. I would feel like it would feel like a very big pressure on me. Actually, even sometimes when I made it to church, in some cases, I would even fall asleep in church. And this thing kept on going on and on and on. People started making fun of me. When we was in church, I was the one sleeping. I would fall asleep for some reason. So I started getting uncomfortable with time. And I spent quite a good number of years in that church. So for some mysterious reason, I stopped going to church. I started dodging the churches. And in that time, it was punishable to dodge church, okay, because it was an obligation. It was mandatory. Everybody had to go to church on Sunday. So what I used to do, because I was feeling very uneasy and uncomfortable for some mysterious reason, I used to hide under the bed. So the other guys would go to church. When they came back, everybody would laugh at me. Oh, look at him. There's a name we used to use back in the days. So because I was dodging church, and my friends used to know that I didn't go to church, so they would laugh at me. They would make a joke of me and something like that. Now, for me, I'm not saying there's any problem with you because you're a church goer. It's okay. You're going to church and you're okay with it. There's no problem with that. But personally, I would later on wake up recently to learn that I never resonated with organized religion. For me, there was nothing making sense. Okay, I would watch some of the things what's happening there, and even actually as well, somewhere along my journey, I've attended different kinds of churches, different types of them, different beliefs, different whatever, and see it was the same thing going on and on and on. I would just simply be falling asleep. I wouldn't like to be there for some mysterious reason. When I woke up, I realized the reason as to why these things didn't make sense way back in time. So I awakened. Okay, so it was like a reconfirmation of something I already knew. Okay. So for me, I could say, in my own opinion, this is my opinion, it's not your opinion. So don't try to squeeze it to be your opinion. It's my opinion. Organized religion doesn't make it for me. It doesn't do it for me. Okay. I've always wanted to do things and think for myself. I've always wanted to go my own way, go my own direction and think for myself. This is how I've been able to discover a lot of truths that they never told us. Because you see, when you go to these churches, there are some things they're going to be teaching you, and it's going to be a repetition. They will teach you the same things today, they will tell you the same things tomorrow, again and again for the rest of your life. So you will be now in this program where your brain has actually accumulated all this information, the same things, but they'll never be able to let you think for yourself. Now, I do not say you should go out of church because you're a church goer. I don't tell you this, okay? I'm just saying things the way they are because that is my experience. Your experience would have been different. You're a church goer, all good, it's okay. Do what you have to do. Now, spiritual awakening, a person who awakens, normally you start to discover a lot of things, everything that you was taught in school, You was taught something in a certain subject. The next class came in, they was taught the same thing. It's something what they call the syllabus. So there was a syllabus. Another class came in, they told them the same thing. So it was just a repetition of the same thing. And you're realizing that most of these things they have told you, they weren't taking you anywhere. You know, I can promise you that at this point in time, I have completely unlearned everything, because a lot of the things that we have been learning over the time, over these years, there have been things that are not going to help us evolve in any way. So this awakening, what I'm saying is that it's an experience which kind of like brings you to the realization of the truth, of what the truth really is, because you see, when you awaken, you have got an opportunity, I could say the chance to start thinking for yourself, You're starting to go around getting information. You're starting to learn different things. And you're starting to learn that there is so many things they never told you way back in time. They never told you how to create your own world. They never told you how to think for yourself. They never told you how to be free. They only told you how to follow certain patterns that everybody pretty much was following for the rest of your life. So they could never tell you that it is possible to be free. It's possible you can start thinking for yourself and create your own world and be free. So a lot of guys who are going through this period of awakening, they are kind of like discovering they have been told and been taught a lot of crap. They have been told and taught a lot of crap in their families. Your family told you this is how things are supposed to be done, because they are teaching you things that they have learned from the other generations before you. And this is just it's like a repetition. It's a repeated cycle of the same events and the same experiences which the ancestors have also experienced way back in time. Which means that if it's a dysfunctional family system, pretty much when you're in that system, you're still going to learn the same dysfunctions that have destroyed the previous generations. Are you guys following? If it's a school, you are going to still learn the same things they have taught you is the same things they taught the previous class that was before you. And now you're starting to learn that you're in some kind of a trap. You have been in a trap for pretty much most of your life. You have just been following the same cycle over and over again. Is why many times people have a problem to break out of these cycles, because they have learned so much crap. They have learned crap that is not taking them anywhere. You may notice that in church, probably most of the things that you learned, this is my opinion again, it's not everybody's opinion, so just don't try to squeeze your things in my own story. But I would say you could have noticed that maybe pretty much 20 or 30% is the things that you needed as part of your life. Like for me, I could say studying in an English school, yes, it has helped with my English language and everything, because I've been able to use this English all throughout my life. But pretty much most of the things I've learned, I cannot even remember the things I learned many years ago when I was in class. So it's like you come to that awareness that there is more to life than the things you've been taught. These kind of families, the things they have been teaching you way back in time, all the things your parents told you, were dysfunctional systems. So they couldn't tell you anything constructive. They couldn't tell you the things you really needed to do as a person, because that was the limit of their own understanding, okay? They didn't know anything outside of that. So they couldn't teach you something they didn't know. In the churches, it's the same thing. They just taught you what they learned in that book, but they could not tell you other things that are very, very necessary and beneficial to your own life. Personal growth and development. You wasn't learning that. They just told you those things that was reading from the books. Now, when you start to think for yourself, you start to broaden your mind a little bit. You start to do your own research. You start to read different couple of books that you were never able to read back in the time. If you've been in the family system, you're able to start understanding how do other families operate. That is this thing that you knew from your family. How about other families? How do they operate? Are they operating the same way like your family or not? What is going on? And you're starting to understand that there is other realities to life. So you start to think for yourself and you start to move to your own way. And I can promise you, a person who is starting to think for themselves, those are the people that are going to get access to their own personal evolution and growth. A person who is not ready to broaden their minds and learn different things, those are the people that are going to be stuck in that bubble, because that is the only thing that you know. So you're not allowing your brain to learn and, explore different options in other areas of your life. So unlearning everything is that experience which happens when you have like had this awakening. It's like you have got these light bulb moments where you are like, your lights are shining brighter, and it's like you can see even beyond what you have been told, even beyond the things that you've learned, because you're able to see that there are other realities somewhere out there that are very beneficial and very important in your own personal development and growth. So spiritual awakening, like I'm saying, is an experience. It's a horrible experience, because when you're starting to learn all these things, it's like there is so much truths out there that you wasn't told in school, you wasn't told in your church, you wasn't told in your family, you wasn't told in your job places. The only thing they would tell you, they would give you a schedule. Okay, come tomorrow, start at this time, finish at that time. Start at that time, finish at that time. Now you're just going in circles. There's no other thing. You cannot think outside of the box. You're just in this bubble. They will teach you all the things you need to know in that workplace, and they will not teach you anything else. They will just show you what it is you need to do in that particular job. But at the same time, you're waking up and you're realizing there are other possibilities in life. Okay? So it's what I mean by having to unlearn everything that you've ever learned and you've ever been told along your journey. Pre-awakening. Okay? Post-awakening, the game will change. You'll usually discover that there is other possibilities. Okay? You usually discover that it is very possible to be free. It is very possible to break out of a dysfunctional family system, get your freedom, and live a better life. It is very possible to break out of a job, go out there and create your own work, your own, craft or whatever. Just do your own thing, and you can still be free, and be happy, even more happier than you was when you was in the job. It is very possible to break out of a organized religion, and you can go out there and think for yourself. You're not doing anything wrong. You're not hurting anyone. You are thinking for yourself, and you're still doing very good things that are impacting society in very many positive ways. So is what I'm talking about when I say unlearning everything. And I'm very sure that all of you guys chosen ones, you can resonate with this video. Let us know what you think about this in the comment section below. You guys do know that I do love and appreciate your support. You can book a session with me if you want to. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I will catch you guys in my next one. There's almost signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.